Chapter 4.7 is Transformations of Polynomials. Now we've talked about transformations for several chapters now, beginning with Chapter 1, and so I'm hoping that this will be pretty fast. So translating a polynomial function. Hopefully you wrote down the notes from the beginning part of these, knowing how do you know when it's horizontal, vertical, when it's a reflection, when it's stretched or shrunk, and so forth. So this should be mostly review. One thing that you need to know is how these graphs look like. So we've kind of talked about that, and a cubic looks like that funny S, right? And then we have our quadratics that make the U shape. Something to the fourth power, let's just say, could be a U shape with a little bit more rounder bottom, okay, or rounder top depending on how you do it. Now, let's graph f of x equals x cubed. And so important points on those, number one, is the 0, 0, right? If you plugged in 0, it would be 0. If you plugged in 1, 1 cubed is a positive 1. And then negative 1 cubed would be a negative 1, right? If you plugged in a 2, positive 2, that would be 8 all the way up here, and the negative 2 would be a negative 8. Okay, so to kind of get an idea of the picture of a cubic. Now, the transformation of this, we have a positive 5 in the inside, so that means it's a left 5. The plus 2 at the end means it's up 2. So we just take it from the center, 0, 0, we go left 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and up 1, 2. Okay, then you just kind of mirror the pieces, right? You know, right one, up 1, left 1, down 1. And then you can kind of finish the picture from there, right? Just kind of sketching it out. Okay, the x to the fourth. X to the fourth, let's say, is something like this. Okay, 0, 0. If you plug in 1 to the fourth, that would be 1. And then 2 to the fourth would be a lot narrower, right? 2 to the fourth would be 16 or so forth. Okay, so the transformation of this one would be right 3, down 1. So right 3, down 1, and then it's still going up. Okay, so we kind of know a general sketch of this. On the homework, you're not actually going to be graphing, so you're just describing the transformations. Okay, so try these next two examples, pause the video, just describe the transformations, and then we'll move on to the next one. So you paused it. This should be a vertical shrink by a fourth. The next one is a horizontal shrink by a half, and then down 3. Then the last one is a vertical stretch by 4. And left 2. Okay, the next thing is we're going to transform polynomial functions. So we're given f of x equals x cubed plus x squared plus 1. We're going to write a rule for g, then describe the g as a transformation of the graph of f. So in this one, we've kind of done this before. We have negative x. So what we're going to do is we're going to plug in x into each of the x's that we see. So we have f of negative x. This would be negative x raised to the cube plus negative x raised to the square plus 1. So this changes. This becomes a negative x cubed. This becomes a positive x squared and a plus 1. This is just a reflection over the x-axis. Okay. Then the next one, we want to multiply 3 to the entire function. So we're going to 3 times f of x, so we're going to multiply 3 times x cubed plus x squared plus 1. So this would be 3x cubed plus 3x squared plus 3. And of course, this is a vertical stretch by 3. So go ahead and try that next example on your own, and then when you come back, I will give you the answer. Okay, and now looking at this one, I realize that here I said reflection over the x-axis. Please change this to a y-axis. You probably realize that already, but that should be a y because it's inside. I apologize. Now, going to this one, this is a reflection over the x-axis. Okay, reflection over the x-axis. So what we're going to do with this is we multiply a negative to the entire function. So this changes to a negative x to the fifth, a positive 4x, and a negative 6. Okay, so that is our new function.